Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I have defined the ID over here, and I'll write over here anything. For example, this is some text, and I'll close the h1 tag. Now what I'll do is, let's say, I'll make a function. Now we'll name it as, let's say, whatever. And over here what I'll do is I will say document dot get element by id by the name of me, okay, and dot inner html is equals to, I will say, is some changed text, right? Now we actually need a button over here. When I click on the button, I want the text to appear. So all I have to do is, obviously I told you that there is no point of using a function as long as the function is not triggered by something. Remember, by triggering I mean is it could be triggered through on load of a page, it could be triggered through a button when you click on a button, when you hover over an image. So we can make a button over here, and I told you how to make a button. Come to forms, you'll have the same in your version. Just click over here in the button, and over here what you can do is you can name over here, let's say, click, and you can give it a value click, right? Okay. Now all I have to do is, over here what I have to say is on click, call the function whatever, right?
So I
So I
can't
can't
find
find
form on
form on
my
my
thing.
thing.
Dreamer.
Dreamable.
Okay, I'll tell you where it is. At the very top, can you see common?
No.
No.
Can't see common?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
I
I
can.
can.
With common, you might see forms over there. Click on
Yes.
Yes.
find forms.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you'll find button over there in the forms. Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
right. Okay. Now let's see. Let me just click on the design. So in the live, what's happening? If you can see the screen, if I click on this, it changes the text. Can you see that? Right?
Yes.
Yes.
If I click on this, okay. So you can view this in the browser as well. You can hit F12. By pressing F12, you can view this in the browser and test it over there. Okay. I'll give you a minute. Look at the coding. Look at the coding and ask me any question that you don't get.
What is
What is
input
input
name?
name?
Hmm.
So what
So
is
what is
input
Oh,
input
name? Where
name?
did
Where did this
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 come
is
from?
how you make a button actually. Input, name, click, type button. मतलब input. Actually, a form basically is input. Okay, through a form you input data. So your text boxes, your radio buttons, your drop-down menus, these are all part of the form. So input type is button. Value means what should appear on the button, and on click of the button do what.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
Understood.
Look at the okay, each and every coding again. Ask me. Make sure it's clear.
So why
So
is
why is
that
that
a
a
bracket
bracket
after
after
ID
ID
equals
equals
to
to
me?
me?
Where? Here, okay,
line
yes,
9.
yes. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because get element by ID is a built-in method. It's a method. So I'm saying go to my document, get the element by ID, by the ID me. So it's a method. All the methods will come over here.
No, like before H1, we open a bracket, then we closed it.
Hmm.
So where is the closing bracket of the bracket after me?
You talk about this one?
Yeah, this me. After me, there's a thing
No. ID is
bracket.
H1 is H1 is it's closing over here. H1 is closing
No,
over here.
the one after me,
This
after the
one?
inverted thing.
No, are you talking about
Look,
this one or this one down here?
on line 19, before the T.
Okay, right. Actually, uh, this is the H1 tag. This is the H1 tag, and this is one of the property of the tag. You can define properties. So H1 has its ID me, and I have written this inside H1, and I've closed the H1 tag, right?
Okay, yes.
This is my H1. This is my H1 tag. I could have written without this simple, but I've given this H1 tag an ID.
Okay, I understood.
Okay, shall I continue?
Yes.
Okay, right. Let me open up a new one. Okay. Now, we will discuss another important thing today. This is really important. That's validation. Okay. Okay. Again, it will be a part of the previous lecture as well, so don't worry. Now, what I'll do is, first of all, what I'll do is I will make a form today, and I will make as a text box and a button. Just listen. So I'll come to form. Okay. Since the lecture is being recorded, I don't have to repeat again. Over here, you will see this form. Okay. So I'll click on this. Okay, and I'll just say okay. Now inside the form, while I'm inside the form, I will click on the text field and I will name it as, let's say, S name. Okay, and I'll say okay. Now, well, let's see, what do we have. We have a simply text box. Okay, now furthermore, what I'll do is I will also add is a button. Okay, I will name it as click, or I will say it as submit, and value submit. Name submit, value is submit. Right? So I have this. Any problem?
Yes.
I have a text box and I have a button. Any problem?
No.
So I just made a form from here. Now what I'll do is I'll come here and I will validate this. So here's my script, and I'll say over here is function. I'll name it as validate me, and what I'll do is over here I'll be typing is if document dot, oh, I didn't name it. Well, just 1 second. Action. I was supposed to name this as name is equals to form 1. Okay. okay, and ID is equals to form1. Okay, so I'll say is document dot form1 dot sname dot value is double equal to nothing, then do what? Then give me alert and say over here, enter the sname first, right? Okay, and all I need to do is in my button I need to say on click validate me, right? Okay, now let's see, is it working or not? Okay, so I'll click on submit. It says enter the sname first. So if I enter the something over here and if I click, it does not give me any error. Did you get my point?
Yes.
Yes. I have validated a text box in such a way that if I leave it empty, just like the online forms that you have seen on the websites, that you have not entered
Yes.
the email, you have not entered the name. So I click on this, tells me that you have to enter something. Now let's have a look at the entire coding and the structure what we have done. It's very simple. The first process that we did was we actually made a form. Inside the form, I made a text box and then I made a button. Yes, while I was making a form, I should have given it a name. I did not. You could have done it then. So I named the form as form1. Okay? My
Okay.
form should be given an ID. I made a function over here. Let me just indent this. One second. Oh. Anyway, ignore it. I usually like indenting it. Let me just close it and let me indent this. Right. You know why indenting is good? Do you know we have a code block for the function? So function starts with this and ends with this. And if I have an if
Yes.
statement, you also do know that an if statement also has a code block. And this parenthesis is the beginning of the if, and this is the closing of the if. What if I have multiple ifs? I will not know which bracket is for which one. If I indent, I will know that okay, this is separated and this is separated. You get the point? I'll have no confusion. So indenting, separating, making it move towards the right hand side, indentation is a really good idea. Anyway, function validate me is doing what? It's doing this. And what is this? It says go to my document. This is my entire document. Within my document, do you see anything, any object by the name of form1? Yes, I have. I have something by the name of form1. Inside this form1, do you have something by the name of sname? Yes, I do. I have a text box by the name of sname. And dot value. The value of this text box that you're entering, is it double equal to nothing? In double quotes, I have what? Nothing. Double quotes, I have nothing. It's a null value. And why have I used double equal to? Yes, Zainab, why have I used double equal to and not
To
single equal
compare.
to? Hmm?
To strictly compare.
We're strictly comparing. I want to strictly compare that whatever is inside my text box, is it equal to what? Empty? Is it empty? Because if I use single equal, it doesn't make sense. I'm not trying to assign anything inside my text box. I'm trying to compare. Okay? So, I compare with empty if this statement is true. If this statement is true, then this will happen. You get the point, right?
Yes.
Yes. Else, what we can say is, we can say over here is else alert your data has been submitted. Let's try now. So I click on this. It says enter your first name. So I enter. I submit. It says your data has been submitted. You get the point.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, have a look at the coding again. Okay. It's very important. I'll tell you. You do theory, you do practical. After every lecture, just sit down idle and think whatever we have learned. Okay, we learned the following thing. So Saem made a form, he named the form, then he did this. If you run the following procedure in your brain, believe me, you will not forget it. What we do is, we do not try to revise it right away. What happens is, with the passage of time, our memory does not store things. If you revise it, 60 to 80% of things are stored there. You will not forget it. I'm telling you, it's really important. Okay. Some students study for 2 hours, some study for 10 hours. Why is that so? It's the way they retain the data, they retain their work. Okay. So, I always suggest my students that, let's say, if you're not getting a point and you're not concentrating, just leave it. Do something else, come back, and then consider it again. And programming, you have to do this, believe me. Okay? You will practice with me, don't worry. Even during the exam, if code is not working, which will not happen, relax, try some other module, do some other module, take 1 2 minutes break, and when you will try it again, you will do it. You get the point.
Yes.
Okay, attempting the paper is something very, really, really important that every student should know. Okay. Anyway, I think it's pretty easy. So validation is pretty easy. We will learn how to keep on validating it, right?
Yes.
Let me just give me a second. Let me. Okay. You're with me?
Yes.
Okay. We're discussing the for loop today. This is also really important. Loops are very important in programming languages. Why are loops used? To fetch a cycle again and again, to meet a condition. Okay. For example, what I've done over here is I've used for loop for, and inside this what I've done. Your loops will always have three things. Your loop will have initialization. Your loop will have, the second thing is a condition, and then is an increment or a decrement. A plus plus means the same thing as saying A is equals to A plus 1. It's the same thing. Okay, if I view this again, it will give me the same result. Then I say document.write A. What's happening? For A is equals to 0. Okay, fine. 0 is less than 12. Is it right? Yes. So then it enters over here and writes 0 over here. Then it goes back. And then when it goes back, before it comes here, it has actually added 0 plus 1, which means A is 1. So it comes in and checks 1 is less than 12. True. Then it writes 1 here. Then it says 1 plus 1, 2. Then it goes back and compares 2 is less than 12. Okay. Then it prints 2. This keeps on happening. A time will come when it says 12 is less than or equal to, yeah, 12 is at least equal to 12, it will print 12. But when 12 adds 1 to it, and then it comes back and tries to compare that 13 is less than or equal to 12, no, neither 13 is less than or neither 13 is equal to 12. No, it's wrong. It comes out of the loop. It comes out of the loop. So it's printing from 0 to 12 because of this loop. So I repeat again, for loop has initialization, it has a condition, and it has an increment. This is our next part, which was about loop. You get the picture?
Yes.
Now, I just talked about a plus plus. What if I do this? A plus 2. What do you think so the output will be?
0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12.
Hmm?
0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and
Very,
12.
very good. Excellent. Well done. You are a genius. You're good in maths, I think so. Exactly. So, in a shorter way, what programmers did was they made a very shorter way by saying a plus plus. A plus plus means a plus 1. No, why did they do this? Because most of the cases, 90% of the cases, increment is always by 1. When you open up documents, you open up 5 documents, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's always by 1. It's not even, it's not odd. It's not by incrementing by 5. You have to customize something else. So since increment always means by 1, mostly means by 1, this is why a plus plus was introduced. You get the point?
Yes.
So this is our loop. Yeah, we will look into it. We'll look at different examples. Where is it used? Um but loops are something really important. Yeah, one other thing I can do is I can actually, let's look at this. I can add spaces. Sorry, put all of these in separate lines. And I'll use over here is br. Now what happens is it all comes in different line. How is it working? Whenever you have to use HTML tags within JavaScript, whenever you have to use HTML tags within JavaScript, you can put them in double quotes. So BR is a it means break rule, such as HR means horizontal rule. HR line, you'll have lines in between. You can see lines are coming. So after every A value, I'm adding a line, a line, a line. You get the point.
Yes.
Okay. No, so you learned a new thing again today. The new thing is that whenever we have to integrate HTML with Java, we will put it in double quotes. Yes or no?
Yes. So they won't be closing.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to close it. We don't have to close it. Frankly, it's
Okay.
not important. It's not important to close all the HTML tags. It's not important. Okay. Right now,
Yes.
don't be worried. You will get used to most of the things. Okay. Your syllabus does not require a very in-depth knowledge of JavaScript. Whatever is in the syllabus, we will remain within that, and we will do advanced practice of that. Okay. But yes, you have to remember certain rules that I'm teaching you. Okay. we have to discuss is switches. We will extend our lecture of validation that we did today. We made one text box today. Okay. We will learn how to make combo box, radio buttons, and how to validate them. We will actually make a full form, okay, in which we have 4 or 5 different text boxes, and we will learn how to validate it. But before I do that, you need to do all these parts yourself. First of all, I need you to code this yourself without looking at my coding. And I would like you to code this yourself. And I would like you to code this yourself. Okay? You get the picture,
Yes.
right? Just take your time. Try to understand everything. Try to make sure each and everything is clear, crystal clear. Okay? Right.
Yes.
I can proceed further, but the point is, if I do proceed further with the switches, these might get confusing for you. Okay. Don't worry. In Java, not a lot is left. Not a lot. Now, once we're done with these concepts, we will do the past papers. You will do my activities. Okay. For now, I will just like you to revise these, understand this, and try it yourself. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir,
had
I
a
had a
question.
question.
What
Like,
this?
Like,
we.
Okay. Can I
Oh
just
no.
pause?
no,
Can I just
on
pause this? Can I just pause this?